Susan Cooper, The Grey King, to The Sleepers. The Grey King continues, and Will has just met the Grey King. He is the first Old One to do so. The Grey King is the greatest of the Lords of the Dark. He has a completely inhuman shape, and he is so big that Will can only see the outline of him. A voice came from the misty shape, both sweet and terrible. It filled the air like the mist itself. And Will could not tell what language it spoke, nor whether it spoke to the hearing of the ears. He knew only that the things it said were instantly in his own mind. "You may not wake the sleepers, Old One," said the voice. "I will prevent you. This is my land, and in it they shall sleep forever. As they have slept these many centuries, your harp shall not wake them. I will prevent you." Will sat in a small crumpled heap, his arms across the harp. He could no longer hold. "It is my quest," he said. "You know that I must follow it." "Go back," said the voice, blowing through his mind like the wind. "Go back. Take the harp safely with you, a thing of power for the light and your masters. I shall let you go, if you go back now and leave my land. You have won that much." The voice grew harder, more chill than the mist. "But if you seek the sleepers, I shall destroy you and the golden harp as well." "No," said Will. "I am of the light. You cannot destroy me." "It will not differ greatly from destruction," the voice said. "Come now, you know that, Old One." It grew softer, more sibilant and nasty, as if caressing an evil thought. Will suddenly remembered the Lord in the sky-blue robe. "The powers of the dark and the light are equal in force, but we differ a little in our treatment of those we may bring under our will." The voice crawled like a slug over Will's skin. "Go back, Old One. I shall not warn the light again." Summoning all his confidence, Will scrambled up, leaving the harp on the ground at his feet. He made a mocking little bow to the gray mistiness that he knew now he must not look at directly. "You have given your warning, Majesty," he said, "and I have heard it. But it will make no difference. The dark can never turn the mind of the light, nor may it hinder the taking of a thing of power once it has been rightly claimed. Take your spell off the golden harp. You have no right to touch it with enchantment." The mist swirled darker. The voice grew colder, more remote. "The harp is not spellbound, Old One. Take it from the sack." Will bent down. He tried once more to pick up the sacking-wrapped harp, but it would not move. It might have been a rock rooted deep in the land. Then he pulled the sacking aside to uncover the harp and took it up, and the shining gold thing came into his hands as lightly as ever it had. He looked down at the sack. "There is something else there." "Of course," said the Grey King. Will ripped the half-rotted sacking so that it lay open. It seemed quite empty, as it had from the first. Then he noticed one fold, a small, highly polished white stone, no bigger than a pebble. He bent down to pick it up. It would not move. He said slowly, "It is a wearstone." "Yes," the voice said. "Your wearstone, a channel for the dark, so that when it is left in a certain place, you may know all that is happening in that place. You may put into it your will and make other things happen. It was hidden in that old sack all the time." Sudden memory flickered in his mind. "No wonder I lost my hold on the fox of the Milgwen." Out of the mist, laughter came. It was a terrifying sound, like the first rattle of an avalanche. Then, instead and worse, the voice came whispering, "A wearstone of the dark has no value to the light. Give it to me." "You had put it on Caradol Pritchett's farm," Will said. "Why? He is your creature anyway. You have no need of a wearstone for him." "That fool is none of mine," the Grey King said contemptuously. "If the dark showed itself to him, he would melt with fear like butter in the sun. No, he is not of the dark, but he is very useful. A man so wrapped in his own ill will is a gift to the dark from the earth. It is so easy to give him suitable ideas. Very useful indeed." Will said quietly, "There are such men of an opposite kind who unwittingly serve the light too." "Ah," said the voice, slyly. "But not so many, old one. Not so many, I think." It sharpened again, and the mist swirled colder. "Give me the Weirstone. It will not work against you, but neither will it work for you. It will always cleave to the earth at the touch of the light, as would a Weirstone of yours, if you had one at my touch." "I have no need of one," Will said. "Certainly no need of yours. Take it." "Stand away, I shall take it and be gone. And if in one night and one day you are not also gone from this my land, you will cease to exist by the standards of men, old one. You shall not hinder us, not with your 6 signs, nor your harp of gold." The voice rose and swelled suddenly like a high wind. "For our time is almost come. In spite of you, and the dark is rising. The dark is rising!" The words roared through Will's mind as the mist swirled dark and chill round his face, obscuring everything, even the ground beneath his feet. He could no longer see the harp, but only feel it clutched close in both his arms. He staggered giddily, and a terrible chill struck into the length of his body, and then it was gone, and he stood in the lane between the hedges, with the harp clasped to his chest, and the valley was clear all about him under the grey sky, and at his feet an empty piece of old sacking lay. Shakily Will bent and wrapped the harp again and set off for Clewyd Farm. And we'll pause there.